We're continuing our series with Bundy Law Office, where you can hear from professionals answering your questions regarding family law. We've got Aaron Bundy joining us again. This segment sponsored by Bundy Law Office. Thanks for being here, Aaron. Today we're going to talk about at what age can a child decide who it wants to live with? How often does that come up for you as a question?
It comes up a lot. It comes up in a variety of different scenarios, and there are a lot of myths and misconceptions out there about how old a child has to be, and then what happens when a child has a preference. Those are two different things.
I know, because there's so many like milestones in a child's life. I think of like maybe it's 16, maybe it's 18, maybe it's 21. So what are those misconceptions that you're talking about?
One is that when a child turns 12, they can say where they want to live, and that's it.
Right.
And none of that is true. And sometimes when it comes up and we hear from one side or the other that a child has a preference, the first thing that the other parent thinks is, oh, they're being coached or manipulated. And that can be true, but it's not always true. Sometimes this stuff comes up on the playground because kids talk, right?
Sure, yeah.
And so if one kid was involved in a child custody matter and they spoke to the judge or were interviewed by someone, they tell their friends. So sometimes children get this information from their peers,
from each other,
and then we have to deal with it because we have a child who has expectations that now I'm in control.
Right. Oh, that's fascinating. Any other misconceptions you want to speak to?
So the other one that follows that is if a child has a preference and they're 12 or older, that's it. It is not it. Like any other family law case, especially in child custody, these are fact-sensitive issues. Mm-hmm. So that's just really kind of start the inquiry about what's going on here with this child. Is the child intelligent enough to know what should be happening in their life? And then where is this coming from? Why? Is there a good reason to make a change?
Okay, yeah, wow, that's a lot to consider. What is the reality when it comes to child preferences?
Is that the child is not in control.
Okay.
And the bottom line is there's going to be a lot more that you have to dig in and find out what's going to happen there. The judge, some of it depends on the judge's kind of preference and philosophy in terms of how that information gets to the judge. Sometimes it comes in through an attorney ad litem that's appointed to represent the child or the child's counselor. And some judges they're welcoming and they'll invite a child to come into their office and tell them their preference. But that doesn't mean that's going to carry the day.
Yeah, understood. And Aaron, where do you come in? How do you help parents or a parent who is dealing with this sort of issue?
So when I'm talking about this, I'm really trying to tell you and the viewers about it from both sides. Whether you're the parent who thinks that your child has a preference to live with you, or you're a parent who has learned that maybe your child wants to spend less time with you, and that you're just now starting on this path here in the journey of what's going to happen. The child's not in control. There's a lot to sort out, again, about where this is coming from, and there are a lot of ways to deal with that kind of information and the other parent in terms of resolving the issue.
Yeah, and I think that's a great place for us to just say that's why folks need to reach out to the pros like you at Bundy. How can they reach out if folks have additional questions?
Well, they can call or text our number here, 479-579-2121. Or they can email us, info@bundy.law.
Yeah, great. Aaron, thanks as always. You always bring up such great issues for us to consider and think about, and things I wouldn't have thought about before, but I know that a lot of parents struggle with, so I appreciate that.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure you tune in to Good Day in WA every Tuesday, because we do have Bundy Law Office on each week. Again, Aaron, thanks so much.